Hello, fellow players of Hero Wars. I'm Jay. Welcome to Jay vs. Hero Wars. Today, I'm going to be talking about counters for Yasmine for the Facebook version of the game, as well as a couple of options for counter teams um, in terms of Yasmine related teams. So, without further ado, let's take a look. All right, guys, so here we are. I'm taking a look first at my community post. So I posted this 2 days ago. It's meant for Hero Wars players on Facebook, of course. What Yasmine teams are bugging you the most, right? The reason it's, of course, is Yasmine is only on Facebook right now, doesn't exist in mobile. So I asked this question to you guys, and I got some responses. So I got this response here: Yasmine, Astaroth, Luther, Celeste, and Martha. Yasmine, Astaroth, Celeste, Jorgen, and King Mao. And then here we got a nice comment just recently about Helios. And yes, Helios is one of the heroes I will be talking about in this video. All of the Yasmine teams, okay, definitely, I understand that. Yasmine, Elmer, Astaroth, Martha, and Dante. So because I've been given these three specific teams, I will definitely look for counters for those specifically and mention them in this video. So I will quickly flip over to the game. All right, guys, so here we are in game. The first thing I'm going to do is go to Guild Battles, where I already kind of set up Yasmine to be the defending hero, right? That's absolute maxed, right? So first things first, before we get into too much on the counters, I want to just, make sure that you guys are aware that when you test your heroes, right, you can't just test them one-on-one because you might get inaccurate results. Additionally, sometimes when you have heroes like Yasmine or other dodge-related heroes, a lot of that is based on, honestly, basically the game mechanics, the RNG of the game, in terms of the computer-generated statistic, whether it dodges or not. So here I'm just going to show two examples, right? Replay this. So here we have Dante and Yasmine, right? I'm going to speed it up. And you have the match, and here you have Dante taking down Yasmine, right? And at first you're probably going to think, wow, Dante is a counter to Yasmine. Awesome. It's actually not true, because just a couple of seconds earlier, right, we have a different result. We have a defeat here. So you go with the same Dante, right, going against Yasmine, and Yasmine pulls out the W here. So what I did was I tried to make sure that my counter list didn't, have inaccurate results, and also basically, was viable in a team setting. Just because a hero might be able to counter one in a one-on-one situation doesn't mean they're going to be able to counter them in a team versus team situation. So with that being said, my number one counter is Helios. I will have a chart up a little later, but essentially here we're going to have a battle. Helios versus Yasmine. And why does Helios work? Helios is a specialty hero. He works great against heroes who do critical damage, and Yasmine is known for two things: dodge and critical hits. That's why, she hits so hard. That's why her opponents go down real quick. So Helios, in my opinion, is the best counter. The second best counter is going to be Lars and Krista. I'm not going to throw up a battle challenge because it doesn't look as cool when you have two heroes battling one. It looks like, Lars and Krista are, bullying Yasmine, if I'm being honest. So we're not going to do that. We are also going to look at the third best counter, in my opinion, here. And that is actually going to be Leanne. So it's got to be Leanne, right? We're going to go ahead and speed up this battle. But essentially what you can see here is Yasmine is immobilized and gets taken out. Really pretty straightforward right there. So now I am going to go ahead and answer, some of the questions in the community, which were basically how can I counter these specific teams. So I am going to go ahead and throw up the teams that we are looking at, which are the first one is Astaroth, Luther, Celeste is down here. You got Yasmine, and of course we have Martha, classic Martha, and we are going to go ahead and just go like that. So I like this team because you could basically form it without having to spend any money. You have Aurora, Kira, right? Kira's a great attacker. You have Orion, Leanne, and you have Jorgen. So Jorgen. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and toss up this team. I'm going to speed up the fight here, and as you'll notice, this is a bit of a close fight. I'm going to go ahead and say that just because, Yasmine does a good job taking out Kira there early. And now that we're limited to 3 attackers, right, Orion and both Kira are down, it might take a little bit of time to take down Martha, but I do believe we'll make it in terms of time here. And there we go. We took him out. So that's one team you could use. We are going to go ahead and just use another one real quick. We are going to go ahead and go with Astaroth, Nebula, and, I like the twins, so we are going to use the twins. Sadly, the twins are not my main team, but I wish they were, if I'm being honest. So got the twins. Then I'm going to throw in Helios. When you have, I've done this team with Thea as well. You don't need Helios, but the fight is quick with Helios. Granted, it's quick with the twins in general, but let's go ahead and speed it up. So once the skills start going, things start changing real fast. And as soon as that whirlwind hits, they're all down. So that's another option, right? You can use a twins team. This is a team that I like. It is one that involves the ODH combo, right? Orion, Dorian, and Helios, with Maya being second. So Orion's up a little bit. Dorian and Helios, right? And Helios is the counter to Yasmine specifically, right? I really like Helios. He really does a job. He's just great against critical attackers. So just great for Yasmine, if I'm being honest. So natural counter. And here we will see eventually all of them get taken out. It ended real abruptly, but you can see there's a victory there. Helios and Orion doing the majority of the damage. Maya, though, really just holds the opposing team in place and lets them take the damage. So that is another team, another one that I like. Is Galahad as the tank. So we have passed him. Of course I did. Galahad, Satori, Helios, yep, Cornelius, and Envari. So Cornelius and Helios. So this is a unique team just because you probably don't see this formation very often, but I liked it for this specific team. So once we have everything settled, so Satori doing some damage there. And as we can see, he had Luther. And as soon as Luther goes down, it's just Martha now. And it's tough for her to go, 4 against 1 or 5 against 1. So that's kind of what we're looking at in terms of counters. The next particular matchup that we have is Yasmine, Astaroth, Celeste, Jorgen, and King Mao. King Mao is a surprisingly popular hero. It must be because it was, she was Hero of the Month recently. I am not the biggest of fans on her. I do see merits in terms of her armor penetration, but she's just not a hero that I would normally gravitate towards. But, to each their own. So we are going to go ahead and challenge. All right, so the team that I'm going to go with is just, the Astaroth The Twins team, Nebula. And I'm going to go ahead and do with Helios again. But like, again, the Twins in themselves are very, very destructive. If I can find Helios. There's Helios. So here I'm going to speed up the fight. And man, just once Krista, right there, Krista just marked all of them, and Lars is going to spin them around. The match is pretty much over already, right? Just one cycle and you're done, Now, in this particular matchup, right, if you have Sebastian, right, I actually think he's a really good counter for Jorgen, right? I mean, just gets real annoying if you're having to deal with Jorgen the whole time. I'm going to go ahead and go Astaroth, the ODH combo. So basically, I'm just replacing Maya here because Jorgen is an issue if we do not do that. Dorian. And let's go ahead and battle here. And there we go. So hopefully those two teams can help, give you an idea of what you can do to take out that specific team, right? Especially in the long run. The other third team that we were looking at is Yasmine, Elmer, Astaroth, Martha, and Dante. The newly revamped Dante. So I am going to go ahead and just toss up the Twins team because they are OP. If I'm being honest, like they're really good. So here we're just honestly going to see again the watermarks get placed. Lars mixes them up and they're all clean and the match is over, right? Oh man, that's tough. So another one that I liked is the Astaroth, Maya, and ODH team. There's Orion down there, Maya, Astaroth, Dorian, Helios. So this one I liked. It worked well when I did it earlier. It's nice because Elmer likes to move a lot, and Maya basically kind of doesn't let him move as much. So, becomes an easier target to hit, less of those duplicates hanging around. So Maya is nice to counter Elmer. Elmer's hopping around all over the place. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So real quickly, to recap, we have Helios is the best counter. Lars and Krista are also phenomenal, but they're second because Helios is a single hero, maybe a little bit easier to obtain. And Leanne is third because she is easy to obtain and also does an effective job at neutralizing Yasmine. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you all in Dominion countering those Yasmine teams.